Welcome to the shed. I'm Syd, Mackie's on the camera, and today we are going to be giving you the shed tour. Welcome to the shed. Before we start, we want to do a huge thank you to all 20,000 of you who have subscribed to this channel. That is insane. We are shocked, excited, stoked. I don't know, just amazed that so many of you have decided to join us for these videos. We've been having a lot of fun filming them, so hopefully you have been having fun watching them as well. And happy 2021. I think we can all just give a collective sigh of relief that it is no longer 2020. First, this is our ride wall. This is everything we need to go on a bike ride, except for the bike, but we wanted it to be as easy as possible to walk in, grab a bicycle, get your helmet, your shoes, glasses. This is sort of our miscellaneous wall of things that we stick in our pockets when we go on a bike ride. We don't permanently store food here because the mice will get it, but for short term, it's okay. Glasses. Where's your case?
Downstairs.
Tubes. These are the tools that we take. What the heck is this?
It's a multi-tool.
Whose multi-tool is that?
Yours.
It's not mine. I've never used this in my life. We got some Dynaplugs, multi-tool, and sunscreen, so we don't forget to put on sunscreen. We do want to show off our helmet hooks. These are the Helmetor hooks. We originally got these for our van because obviously a normal hook for a helmet in a van is not good because it'll shake around and fall off, but we like them so much that we got them for our shed as well. We have an entire series of videos on our vlogging channel of the build of the shed, so that shows you how we took what was a backyard storage shed with a pretty major rodent problem and turned it into our dream bike workshop with a minor rodent problem. Basically, that was the beginning of this channel, was having this workshop, which we did not have before April of last year. So if you want to take a deep dive on that, we'll put a link to that playlist up there. And this is where we store all of our bike shoes. We feel pretty brilliant for this. This is a tool rack, you know, like a rake shovel thing that you could get at any hardware store, and it is absolutely perfect for hanging shoes like this. Mackie told me it wouldn't work, and then it did work.
You have the shoes backwards.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about bike hanging. That's something that we have gotten a few questions about on this channel because we have packed a lot of bikes into a small space. This is all of our bikes, all of Mackie's family's bikes, which is like 2 of them, and then 10 of our bikes. We don't have a problem or anything. The way we have managed to fit so many bikes into this small space is by using the Feedback Sports Velo hinge racks. As you see, if we had straight hooks, we have to space them out more. So the hinges allow us to hang the bikes at an angle, and they're super easy to use. You just pop it off, pop it back on. Oh, this bike is missing like half of its parts. Don't worry about that. You can even get to bikes that are in the middle by turning like this, and then
You chose the heaviest one.
yeah, I'm not gonna do that one because it's an e-bike and it's actually like a little long for the space, but you get the point. All right, we also have a lot of stuff in here that does belong to Mackie's parents. The shed is on their property, so we have snowshoes, we have skis, we have hot tub chemicals. This is where we keep all of our stuff for working on the cars or the dirt bikes, so for an oil change, all that. We don't have a garage, so this is kind of like garage stuff. And we got the jack stands, moto boots. Here we've got our cowbells. Cowbell. We actually seriously downsized our cowbell collection when we renovated the shed. So we keep our work stand right here so that we do have all of this open space. That means we can set up a trainer and do indoor workouts in here. We could do workouts on the Ripro. We could have dance parties. We can pull it out really easily, set it up, have a ton of space. Have our aprons back here.
As someone commented recently, you know you're a pro mechanic when you have a shop apron.
I know, I have a kitchen apron. So I think that was a jab. Speaking of bike stands, we also installed this Velo wall post on our beam. There's a big beam here because this used to be the exit. So we were like, how can we use this beam in a way that we're not just annoyed about there being a beam? So we installed this so we can grab a bike. Nike, your bike is disgusting. It's gonna get dirt all over the floor.
I might not have listened to our basic maintenance video.
Yeah, do you run a YouTube channel or not? Anyway, this is a really easy way to get started. Maybe wipe some of the dirt off of your bike, I don't know. This is a mess.
Thank you. We don't have to keep going on and on about it.
Anyway, we are really pleased that we put this here. It has been great because it is kind of annoying to like set up the whole stand for small little tasks as you're going out the door. Very important to put the stand up though, because I did nearly lose an eyeball once. This is more bikes on this wall. We actually spent like a very long time thinking about which wall to put bikes on, where to put our shelves, where to put our workbench, which we'll get to in a second. We're very pleased with what we ended up with. This space is a little weird because like we said, we expanded the wall out, so there's a step, so we knew we didn't want to be like walking over the step while we were working on bikes. So we decided to use this as bike storage. As you can tell, like, we do a lot of bike maintenance because every bike that I pulled down is like in pieces.
Come on, only 2 of the bikes are in pieces.
All right, and over here we've got our air compressor. It's plugged into the wall. We've got some other random things that usually live in our van. We've got our Wi-Fi booster so that maybe one day we will do live streams in here. Unicycle, you know, like you do. It's Mackey's brother. He's really good on the unicycle. Here we have more Velo wall posts, which we are using to store wheels. We've got some Vittoria airliners, which are kind of a pain to store, so good to have something you can hang them on. And we've got a bin in there that has tires. I really can't recommend having a whiteboard in your shop enough. Cheap, like easy upgrade that will just help you keep your tasks together. We have a trash can. I know that's like not exciting, but it was kind of exciting because I feel like most of our life we've been working on bikes in the driveway with like bags or like at a campsite with our van. We also store bigger things that we don't use very often under here, like our travel bike cases, which definitely win the award of least used item in 2020. And then this shelf is basically spare parts and things that we use a little bit more frequently when we're working on bikes. We've got big things of cable and cable housing here. Just more convenient to buy in bulk when you do as much bike work as we do. This is kind of, I guess, like a little bit the like things in pieces or transit. Like this is a shock that needs a rebuild. This is a bag of broken parts for videos. I'm not really sure what video we're gonna do, but like, look at the state of this rotor. We felt like we should keep it so that we could show you guys what a like horribly toasted rotor looks like. We've also got some worn out pads and some other stuff, so I don't know. At some point there will be a video of like, this is what things look like when they're broken. I don't know, would that be helpful? We have most of our tools on the tool wall for easy access, but some of the more specific things that we do not use that often are here. This is all like the brake bleed stuff, brake cutting stuff, fork install, a crown race. Oops, did not mean to do that. Crown race installer. What is this called?
That's the crown race installer.
Crown race installer. There's so many words, man.
It's actually crown fork race installer.
I knew there was another word in there. That's why I was asking. And then a star nut installer. Again, we don't use those that often, but when we do use them, it's like real nice to know where they are instead of like having to dig through a box of things. Should we talk about our workbench?
Talk about our workbench.
All right, so our workbench, on its second life, it started as a door, and then it spent 15 years sitting outside, and then we reclaimed it, sanded it, epoxied it, and turned it into our workbench, and we're pretty pleased with how it turned out. We don't do a ton of things, as you see in the videos. Most of our stuff is work on the bike, but when we do need to work on the bench, we've been pretty pleased. We also have a vise, which we use all the time. And we've got different thingies, like plastic things, so that we can put like a fork in there and do a fork, lower service. Vices are, I feel like they're not super expensive for what they are, and they're like worth it, worth every penny.
Yeah, when we first showed people pictures of our workbench, a bunch of people were like, you need a vise. And we were like, but we never use a vise. And then we were like, okay, we'll get a vise. And now that we have it, we use it all the time. Little charging station over here. I don't know if it's just because we do YouTube, but like we just constantly have things that need to be plugged in.
So we ran electric to the shed, which it did not have before, and put outlets everywhere. And it's the best thing ever. We have a charging station. We charge our GPSs for training here. We charge GoPros. We charge cameras. We charge microphones. The microphones need to be charged. Okay, we charge microphones. And this was a Christmas present. We just got a thermometer so we can know exactly how painfully cold it is in here.
So how painfully cold is it?
It's actually up to 40. When we came in here this morning, it was like 29. Okay, do we get to talk about the tool wall now?
Talk about the tool wall.
We really love this thing. This is completely unnecessary, but we installed LED lights behind it. It was like $7 on Amazon or something. It's totally unnecessary, but I love it.
Unnecessary.
You can choose colors. You can switch between colors. You can induce a seizure. So the options are endless. Anyway, we're really excited to have this pegboard kind of situation because before this shed build, we had the world's most disorganized tool situation. This is an upgrade for sure. We're super grateful to Feedback Sports for sending us their toolkit, which is what most of the tools on this wall are from. We're not going to go through every single tool right now. We have some other videos where we talk about tools that you should invest in as a beginner mechanic, so we'll put a link to that right up there. All right, so we've got things relatively organized here with the stuff that is hanging, but then it was also totally worth it to have these little boxes that we got on Amazon or something like that. We got all of this on Amazon. There will be links in the description, but we've got like carbon prep in here. We have bottle caps in here because we can. These are actually kind of a collector's item right now because Santa Fe Brewing stopped making bottles and went to cans, so keeping hold of those. We've got all the tapes, we've got grease, we've got a grease gun. This was the cake topper at our wedding. And then in here is kind of random items like pens, so they're easy to get to when you want to. Always got a pressure gauge checker in here. We also have valve cores and our trusty little torque wrench with all its little widgets. This is a thing in New Mexico. You can't just have normal light switch covers.
Yeah, normal light switch covers are boring.
That is the shed tour. We love this space. We are so happy with how it turned out. Definitely let us know in the comments if you think we are missing anything important, if there's anything we should add to this kind of ridiculous, kind of amazing workshop. And we'll see you in the shed next Sunday.